Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Welcome to Top 5 from The Ray Taylor Show, where each week I rank movies in a variety of categories, from franchise to subgenre to directors and actors. No film is left unwatched as I break down my top 5 picks. So join me every Sunday for new episodes and get ready to dive into the world of film with Top 5 from The Ray Taylor Show. Greetings, fellow thrill seekers. Today, I'm turning up the sirens and hitting the gas as I delve into the action-packed countdown. That's right. I'm about to unravel the top 5 police story movies starring the legendary Jackie Chan. Get ready for a high-octane ride that's about to take us through explosive stunts, heart-pounding chases, and jaw-dropping action sequences. So buckle up and secure your gear, because we're about to embark on a roller coaster of adrenaline. All the same, all in the name of justice and entertainment. This franchise has many great elements. You have the great action blended with comedy. There's a lot of reverse psychology and manipulation. Very popular tactics in this series. Great hand-to-hand fights. Crazy stunts. Goes from Lethal Weapon style badass cop stuff to James Bond or Rambo style cops. Just amazing stuff. The stunts are nuts. Bloopers and the stunts gone wrong at the end of all of these episodes, as the majority of Jackie Chan films do. And not all of the movies in this series are the same character, despite the fact that Jackie Chan plays the lead in the majority of these films. However, one of those films, Super Cop 2, which is technically a spin-off of the franchise, starring Michelle Yeoh, I couldn't find anywhere. I could not find legitimately or illegitimately, for whatever that's worth. So that is the one movie that is technically part of this franchise that I wish I could have seen, that is also technically a spin-off, not a sequel, but it's one that will not be on this list because I was unable to watch it, sadly. But when I do get a chance to watch it, I will just do a full-on movie review of that one, because I look forward to seeing Michelle Yeoh's great in Super Cop, and Super Cop 2, I'm sure there's some great moments in that as well. But let's get into my top 5 police story movies. Starting off with number 5. This is one that is very different in many ways. This is one where the lead character is, I believe, not the same character, still played by Jackie Chan. It's also tonally very different. Not as much comedy with action, more tonally different. But that one coming in at number 5 is New Police Story. This came out in 2004, made in Hong Kong, action thriller, directed by Benny Chan, and of course starring Jackie Chan. It is in many ways a reboot, a fresh take on the popular Police Story film series that originally began in the 80s. While the original Police Story film showcased more lighthearted and comedic tone, New Police Story takes a darker and more dramatic approach. In this movie, the Jackie Chan portrays Inspector Chan Kwa Wing, a dedicated and skillful police officer, as they all are. The film opens with a harrowing and tragic event. A group of young criminals, led by Joe, played by Daniel Wu, commit a series of brutal heists, resulting in the deaths of several police officers and civilians. By the way, I did watch this movie dubbed, as I believe not all of them, maybe all of them were, actually, which I'm not a big fan of. But it adds a level of cheese to this. And this movie specifically, the acting is very cheesy. There is a cop that has like a weird like New York accent for no reason in the dub. very weird. But he's an abusive father. Also, it's just I don't know. It's off. It takes me out of the movie. But regardless of that, caveat for these movies. So a bunch of cops and civilians killed by this group of kids. The incident haunts Chan Wook Wing, who was the lead officer during the failed operation, and he's haunted by this guilt and trauma. Life begins to spiral out of control in despair. He turns to alcohol and becomes a shadow of his former self. So we get Drunk Jackie, which he's played Drunk Jackie, but a competent in Drunken Master and The Legend of Drunken Master. So somebody that is very good at playing drunk, as he pukes in the alley in one scene. The criminals continue their reign of terror, mocking the police force and highlighting their inefficiencies. The gang of punk clown type kids, very much out to kill cops. They're also ex-gamers or extreme sports enthusiasts as well. Their intentions and the way that they like to play games. So a lot of this has kind of elements where it feels like it's like the movie Saw, let's play a game kind of a thing. And also a little bit of the Joker, right? It's these kids kind of, and also the Point Break reboot, which is not a good movie. So interesting elements in related to this group of kids. The police department becomes demoralized and powerless while Chan is an outcast within his own community. He has a younger sidekick that tries to help Jackie get back on track, but not a comedic sidekick as most of his are. The film follows the intense cat and mouse game between Chan and the criminals, filled with explosive action sequences, daring stunts, and emotional confrontations. New Police Story explores themes of redemption, the cost of obsession, and the struggle to overcome personal demons. The film is characterized by its gritty and darker tone compared to the earlier entries in the franchise. It showcases Jackie Chan in a more serious and emotionally charged role, showcasing his acting versatility beyond his signature comedic action persona, which I'm all for Jackie Chan doing serious stuff. Fine. It doesn't help when the dubbed feels like it's in a comedy movie. Like, tonally, this movie would have benefited from Jackie Chan being funny, because it feels like everybody else is in that Jackie Chan movie or trying to be funny, where Jackie Chan is trying to be some like grizzled, down on his luck, like beating up himself kind of a guy. The movie combines thrilling action with character-driven narrative, often offering fans a fresh perspective on the Police Story franchise. After fighting, there's like a fighting game at one point where they challenge Chan to fight the different members of this group, and every time he loses, another cop dies, is like dropped, that is being like hung up, suspended in this warehouse place, and when he loses, they drop. So kind of like Saw, like some of the games are like, who can put their gun together faster, and one is just a straight up fight, hand-to-hand combat, right? So definitely these kids are obsessed with games. They literally create a video game in order to like give the cops a clue. But there is a great scene after that where Jackie loads all of the bodies of these cops onto like this flatbed cart and tries to push them out of this giant warehouse as it's exploding behind him. So very similar in many ways to the warehouse explosion in Police Story 2, but this one much bigger. So that was a fun set piece. There's also a moment where he's rappelling down a building after like an X game like event where the cops show up to try and bust these kids, and they get away by rappelling down a building which is kind of fun. And then there's a chase scene on the road. There's a double-decker bus, which is a reference to the very first Police Story movie. A lot of broken glass, which is also very similar to Police Story 1 and 2. There's the double-decker bus. The roof gets ripped off on an overpass, which seems very like a callback to Super Cop, Police Story 3, with the helicopter being smashed on an overpass on top of that was landed on a train. The kid is able to stop the bus from going into the harbor, into the water, by driving a truck full of rubber duckies in front of it. So the water gets filled with rubber duckies. A great action sequence in general. There is one funny scene. So Jackie and his sidekick get arrested, right? Because Jackie's on suspended, and this other guy's not even a cop. Lied about being a cop, this kid that's helping him out. So they end up getting arrested. And everybody is kind of allowing them to escape and pretending like they don't see him escape. Like, the guy leaves and drops his keys as he's going to the restroom, and it's like very clear. So they get out and they're like going through and they're like walking by and they're like, I don't think anybody, like somebody comes out of a door and he's like sees them and he's like, oh, I didn't see you. And then kind of he's inspecting the door and going back into the room he was. So it's a funny scene where like everybody in this police department are doing everything possible to not see them escape. And it gets to a scene where the kid runs into a trash can, or a metal trash can, makes a bunch of noise, and there's a room full of cops, and they all see Jackie and this guy out of their cell, and they all just pretend that, which is the only funny scene. I mean, this whole movie is like a funny Jackie Chan movie, except for Jackie Chan not wanting to be funny. But it was a funny scene, and even the guy in charge leaves his gun and his clip because he knows Jackie's going out to kind of like avenge this whole thing, to make this thing right. It's going to work outside of the law to find justice. This ends at like this bank robbery in a mall. And at the end of that, there's this rematch. The guy who, challenged. There's a lot of rematches in this, right? There's a rematch in like a Lego store with Jackie and the guy who had the hand-to-hand combat thing. But then there's another rematch on the rooftop with one of the bad guys putting the guns together, and Jackie skips a step and just puts the bullet directly into the barrel instead of putting it in the clip to then be loaded, so he's able to beat him in that way. So, fun moments in this movie. And while this movie does pay homage to the original series in many ways, it's a very much a standalone entry in both its intense and poignant moments and a more grounded take. Overall, New Police Story is a departure from the typical Jackie Chan film in many ways, offering a compelling blend of action and drama that showcases the actor's range of as a performer. It adds a layer of complexity to the Police Story universe in a way, and remains a noteworthy addition to Jackie Chan's filmography. And of course, it still has bloopers, outtakes at the end, which is great. So overall, fun moments. Not a fan of the lack of comedy. But and there's a epilogue at the end of this where we find out why that kid was even helping Jackie Chan out at all. Like, there was this moment where, a long time ago, when that kid was a young boy, his dad was trying to steal food and got busted, and Jackie Chan came and helped him out. So, touching. It has good moments, but it's a bummer to see Jackie Chan bumming out, especially in a movie that is still trying to be fun and comedic. So, it's uneven. That's why it's here at number 5. The New Police Story at number 5. Moving on to my 4th favorite Police Story movie. There is a fly that is just bugging me right now, and I wish I was Mr. Miyagi with some chopsticks right now. I would. And actually, I think Jackie Chan did it in Rumble in the Bronx, too. Anyway. Number 4. Coming in number 4, Police Story 4, First Strike is the movie. This is a movie I didn't even know was part of the Police Story series, franchise. This is a movie growing up I only knew as First Strike. And it is one of my favorite Jackie Chan movies from that era of movies that came out when I was in high school. You had First Strike, Mr. Nice Guy, Rumble in the Bronx, all of those. I thought this was kind of the best out of those. And a really great movie, still a lot of fun. But I don't there's a level of cheese in this movie that isn't as present in the top 3 on my list. So that's why number 4, Police Story 4, First Strike. It's known as also Jackie Chan's First Strike. That's what I knew it as. Came out in 1996. Hong Kong action comedy, directed by Stanley Tong, starring Jackie Chan. 4th installment in the popular Police Story film series, known for its high-octane action sequences and Jackie Chan's signature blend of martial arts and humor. So definitely the comedy aspect of it is back, and that is why it is above. It is here at number 4. In this movie, Jackie Chan reprises his role as Inspector Chan. So it is the same character as the previous, but his name is really the only connective tissue. May doesn't exist in this movie. There's never referenced in this movie. But he is skilled and still resourceful police officer. But this time, Chan is assigned to an international espionage case involving stolen nuclear warheads. The plot takes him on a globe-trotting adventure that spans from Hong Kong to Ukraine and Australia. The film begins with Chan being assigned to follow a suspected arms dealer who is believed to be involved in illegal trade of nuclear weapons. As the investigation unfolds, Chan's pursuit takes him to various locations and through a series of dangerous encounters. Throughout the journey, he faces off against a range of adversaries, including skilled martial artists and cunning spies. One of the standout action scenes in this film is this breathtaking underwater scene. It's at the end of the movie, kind of, which showcases Jackie Chan's incredible physical and stunt work. The scene takes place in a shark-filled pool, adding an extra layer of danger. It's also very funny, this scene. It's already intense, choreographed. There's aspects where people just get nicked and they start bleeding and they have to suck on the... It's a very funny scene, but also watching Jackie Chan fight underwater is fun because we all know how difficult it is to fight underwater. For those who have tried to have fight scenes when you're a kid under the water, it is very... You're moving in slow motion. Very much how it feels for me when I'm in a fight in my dreams. It feels like I'm underwater. There's also a scene in Ukraine where he's helping track a suspect, right? And he's got no warm clothes. He gets a snowboard. He has like this seal hat, which is funny. He's tracking the uranium. He snowboards off a cliff, holds on to a helicopter, which is great. But then he sees that a rocket is coming for the helicopter, so he has to let go of the helicopter, and he falls down into the icy cold water below. Amazing. Riding a snowboard on his belly, right? Amazing scene of him having to like hide under the ice sheets when the other helicopter is trying to shoot at him. Amazing action sequences. There's also a scene where Jackie's forced to strip. This is when he's in Australia while singing the song I Will Follow You, I think. And he's wearing koala undies, which is very funny. And this is the scene where he finds out that he's being tracked, being used by the Russian mafia, and ends up wearing this amusement park costume of a seal. When he's telling him, it's like, I figured you out, I'm done. Right? Funny scene. Very goofy acting from the giant bad guys that are part of like the Russian mafia or whatever. Very goofy, but also very physically intimidating. So kind of a double-edged sword there, but very, very goofy. As the plot thickens, Chan discovers a web of deceit and conspiracy that involves multiple parties with their own agendas. The film combines espionage, action, comedy as Chan navigates through the complexities of the case, all while delivering his unique brand of Jackie Chan-style humor and stunts. First Strike is known for its thrilling action sequences, particularly its innovative fight choreography and stunt work, as many Jackie Chan movies do. His commitment to performing his own stunts and pushing the boundaries of physicality is evident throughout the film. The combination of hand-to-hand combat, acrobatics, prop-based action scenes create a visually engaging and dynamic cinematic experience while maintaining the comedic elements that fans love of the police story and other Jackie Chan movies. This movie also showcases a more serious and mature side of Jackie Chan's character, adding at the depth to the storyline. The film strikes a balance between its action-packed moments and its character-driven narrative, making it a well-rounded addition to the Police Story series. Overall, Police Story First Strike is a must-watch for fans of Jackie Chan and action cinema. It encapsulates the essence of the Police Story franchise while delivering a fresh and exhilarating adventure that keeps viewers entertained from start to finish. The background story of everything is so overly complex in this movie and ultimately forgivable, but it is a really fun movie that goes in a lot of different places, and you see Jackie Chan having to, whether it's not having the proper warmth in snowy weather or being in a koala undies singing a song in a parking lot while being held at gunpoint. This movie has it all. It was one of my favorite movies growing up, and, you know, the cheesy aspect of Jackie Chan, that's how I was introduced. I was introduced to Jackie Chan through Rumble in the Bronx. And Rumble in the Bronx, Mr. Nice Guy, this movie, there is that in the 90s, that aspect of Jackie Chan movies, especially the dubbed versions, that are extra goofy. Extra goofy. And that's what I fell in love with. So even though some of the comedic elements can be toned down a bit and be less over-the-top goofy, I love those as well. But there's still a soft part in my heart for these ultra goofy ones. And this one is that. And that is why here at number 4 is Police Story 4 First Strike. Moving on to my third favorite, this top 3 I think is the solid, unimpeachable top 3 of the franchise. And a reminder, I never got to see Super Cop 2. I don't know how good it is. I don't know if I've ever watched it, but it's not part of the list. However, this top 3 is bangers. Let's take a quick break from this episode to talk about Attention all Ray Taylor Show fans! We're excited to announce we've just released a line of exclusive merchandise featuring original artwork inspired by the show. Our high-quality shirts and biodegradable phone cases are a perfect way to show your support for the show and make a great gift for any fan. Plus, with each purchase, you'll be helping us continue to bring you great content. So don't wait. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com now and check out the full collection. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll show your support by grabbing some Ray Taylor Show merchandise today. And now, let's get back to the show. Starting off with number 3, my third favorite Police Story film is Police Story 2. This came out in 1988, Hong Kong action comedy, directed by and starring Jackie Chan himself. It's a sequel to the iconic Police Story, obviously the second installment in the film series. The movie continues the adventures of Inspector Chan, played by Jackie Chan, a skilled police officer known for his dedication and justice and his impressive martial arts abilities. In this movie, picks up shortly after the events of the first film in a very... This is a moment that's been done in other action movies, sequels that I love, but it's Chan is dealing with the aftermath of his heroic actions of the first film after taking down a major crime syndicate. Starting off with how much damage he caused in the first movie. So it's a fun recap of all of the craziness that happened in the first movie. Whether it's in the kind of the favela type of a scene where they drove cars down this hill through the favelas, very similar to Fast Five, if you're familiar with that movie. Like they had to pay all of those families to relocate them, right? And pay for all the damages of that area. There's also the final fight scene of the first movie, took place in a mall. There's a giant, amazing stunt that Jackie did where he slides down this pole with lights on it, this chandelier in the mall, and things are sparking and light bulbs are breaking. It's one of the big action scenes of Jackie Chan's career. Happens in the first movie, and they're like, that chandelier was so expensive, couldn't you just take the stairs? It's kind of hilarious as they're breaking down all of the money that he's cost. Because of that, he's put back as a normal cop. It's like, you can't be this poster child for the police department doing whatever you want anymore. You cost us too much money. So they put him back as a normal police cop, which is kind of a great way to start this. However, he soon discovers that his battle against crime is far from over. The film follows Chan as he faces new challenges both professionally and personally. The plot of this Police Story 2 centers around a vengeful gang leader, Chu Tao, who seeks retaliation against Chan for his role in dismantling his gang. Tao's vendetta leads to a series of dangerous confrontations, including bombing attacks and assassination attempts, putting not only Chan but also his loved ones in danger, that specifically being Mei, his girlfriend. As Chan tries to bring Tao to justice, he must also navigate the complexities of his own personal life, his relationship with his girlfriend Mei, played by Maggie Cheung. They face a strain. Their relationship faces strain due to the demands of his job and the constant danger that he faces. The film delves into the emotional toll that Chan's dedication to his work takes on his relationship and well-being. This movie is known for its intense action sequences, as most of Jackie Chan's movies are, and his commitment to performing his own stunts. The film showcases a variety of martial arts battles, explosive set pieces, and breathtaking stunts, all of which have become trademarks of the Police Story series. Notable scenes include the beginning of this movie. There is a restaurant fight, and he completely, like, this is just after being berated for being so expensive, the department having to pay for all the damage he causes. There's these criminals stalking his girlfriend and are staked out at a restaurant. He goes to that restaurant, and there's a great fight scene where there is a lot of destruction. The finale of that fight is a truck that is full of chickens crashes inside the restaurant, and the chickens are everywhere. Kind of a great moment. After he quits and is trying to find a job doing something else, they go to a travel agency. They're going to go on a trip. And while at the mall where this travel agency is, there is a bomb threat, and they have to evacuate the mall, which at first they don't think, like, they're trying to blame Chan, who's not supposed to be a cop anymore. He's taking responsibility. Turns out it was real, and the mall blows up. Great scene. And like this series is known to do, manipulation, and they manipulate him into coming back to work for them because they regret him quitting. They tried to... There's always manipulation. Him, the inspector, and his uncle, there's always some manipulation going on. And also Jackie, and especially in the first movie, there's manipulation is a big aspect, especially these first films in this series. So they manipulate him to get him to come back to bug this boardroom, which is a great scene of Jackie trying to sneak around. There's also a fart joke in the elevator that I thought was hilarious with the uncle, which turns into, like, that joke continues back when they get back to the police station and May is yelling at Jackie and she goes into the stall where the uncle is taking a shit to yell at Jackie in the other stall that he's trying to hide, and the look on the uncle's face while she's like standing on the tank and he's like having the worst kind of runs. Hilarious. There's also a great park fight scene on a playground. These bad guys have pipes. They end up chasing him through the street, and Jackie gets kind of cornered in this alleyway, this dead end, and he jumps to miss the car that runs in, that's trying to run into him. And they get all freaked out, and he goes to they back up, and he goes to grab a pipe off of the side of this alleyway and couldn't do it. Right, and then accidentally steps on something that makes a popping sound that scares them. Great fight sequence that starts with the playground and ends in what ends with one of the bad guys turning around and running into a pole, breaking his glasses. But great moment. You have they add some new investigators, these young, hip, undercover investigators, many of which are women, and they all kick ass. There's a great surveillance following a suspect scene throughout in this movie that's great. They end up rescuing May in an abandoned factory where these guys that are making the bombs are at the end. There's one of the main bomb guy is this short, deaf, mute guy that makes these baby / monkey sounds, which was kind of weird. Especially when he's fighting, making these gaga goo goo sounds. But great factory explosion. Great fights in that factory. Great explosion at the end of that. And while maintaining the comedic elements of this film that made the first film successful, Police Story 2 also delves deeper into the character and their motivations. The film explores themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and the challenges of balancing personal and professional responsibilities. Overall, Police Story 2 is a worthy successor to the original film, delivering the perfect blend of action, comedy, and drama. It continues to showcase Jackie Chan's unique style and charisma while expanding the storyline and providing new challenges for Inspector Chan. For fans of martial arts cinema and Jackie Chan enthusiasts, Police Story 2 remains a classic and an essential watch. And that is why this movie, that is bigger than the first movie, big explosions, more fight scenes, bigger story, that is why this movie is coming in at number 3. Number 3 is Police Story 2. Man. Normally, Jackie Chan puts bloopers at the end of his films. I won't be doing that. All of my bloopers come within the show. It's not edited. We're going live to tape. So, enjoy the bloopers. I'm not messing up on accident. I'm doing this purposely. I'm on purpose messing up, doing bloopers, because that's part of what happens. It's an homage to Jackie Chan. Anyway, moving on to my second favorite Police Story movie. This is one that I think is great. I could see there's no way this is number 1, but this is a solid number 2, right? It's definitely tough. 2 and 3 are movies that I could see being flip-flopped. But the reason why I chose this to be at number 2 and not at number 3 and vice versa, coming in at number 2 is Police Story. This is the original, came out in 1985, Hong Kong action comedy, filmed and directed, again, by Jackie Chan. It's widely regarded as one of Jackie Chan's most iconic and influential movies, marking a significant milestone in his career and revolutionizing the action comedy genre. One reason this is above Police Story 2. The film follows the story of Chan Kai-Kyu, played by Jackie Chan, a detective, dedicated and resourceful police officer tasked with protecting a witness named Selena Fong, played by Bridget Lin. in a major case against a powerful drug lord, Chu Tao. As Chan works to keep Selena safe, he finds himself entangled in a web of danger, deception, and high-stakes action. From its opening scene, Police Story delivers an impressive combination of thrilling action and Jackie Chan's trademark humor. Trying to take down a drug bigwig, you have this favela shootout, like I mentioned, very much what Fast and Furious 5, Fast 5, that scene in Fast 5 came from, was this I don't think they call it favelas in this. They're like shanties or whatever. There's a big shootout followed by cars crashing through the buildings as they're going down this hillside. And Jackie Chan, there's a great scene with a double-decker bus and Jackie Chan trying to get on using an umbrella, which is the background image of this episode. A very classic moment that Jackie Chan inspired, of course, by Buster Keaton in many of his things. A great action scene involving this double-decker bus. Many of this, like, so many elements of the double-decker bus scene are present in so many other Jackie Chan movies. It's insane. The film is known for its creative and meticulously choreographed fight sequences that incorporate a mix of martial arts, stunts, and physical comedy. These sequences set a new standard for action cinema, emphasizing realism and intense physicality. Other notable action sequences in this movie, one that stand out for me is in this film is the famous shopping mall scene at the end, where Chan takes on a group of criminals in a crowded shopping complex. In that scene is it showcases Chan's ability and acrobatics and ability to use environment to his advantage as he navigates through the escalator, glass panels, and various obstacles, ultimately sliding down that chandelier. There's a lot of manipulating of the witness in the beginning of this movie, into first just trusting him, having his cop buddy pretend to be attacking her in her home, leading to very comedic scene where Chan's pretending to fight his buddy who's been knocked out already. There's also the great comedic drama between May and the witness when they finally do go to Chan's apartment, and it's his birthday party. It's a surprise party, and it looks like he's bringing another woman home. There's also a funny sequence in the courtroom where the witness escapes and runs away because she knows that he manipulated her, and she also recorded over her confession that he took with something that sounds like they were fooling around, and the scene in the courtroom where he plays that piece of evidence is very funny as well. There's also a great scene in the police department where Chan is left alone in the police department, and you see him juggling the different phone receivers as people are trying to call in. The things people are calling in for are a bit heavy for a comedic scene, but still a great scene of Jackie Chan. There's always like these kind of simple scenes where just him juggling things is so entertaining. The impact and legacy of this film celebrated for its groundbreaking action sequences, which set new standards for what could be achieved on screen in terms of physicality and realism. Chan's commitment to performing his own stunts, even in perilous situations, became a hallmark for his career and greatly contributed to this film's success. The film's blend of action and comedy resonated with audiences worldwide, helping to solidify Jackie Chan's status as an international action superstar. Police Story was not only a commercial success, but also established a blueprint for future action comedy films. Police Story paved the way for Police Story film series and other successful projects from Jackie Chan's career. Its impact is still felt today and continues to be referenced and appreciated by fans and filmmakers alike. In summary, Police Story remains a classic in the action genre, showcasing Jackie Chan's unique talents and his dedication to pushing the boundaries of action cinema. Its memorable sequences, entertaining storyline, and charismatic performances have earned it a special place in film history, and that is one of the big reasons. Those are many of the reasons why this movie, Police Story, the first of the franchise, is sitting here at number 2, because it changed so much of film. It changed so much of Jackie Chan's career, doing really big, dangerous stunts himself. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of comedy. The double-decker bus scene is great. The finale in the mall is great. All of those things are great, even though the sequel is bigger and in many ways a little bit better, a little bit more too over-complex, the second one, I would say. That's why the second one is at number 3 and this one is at number 2. But this is a great classic Jackie Chan film. So good. And also sets the stage for the manipulation that happens throughout these movies. It's great. Police Story at number 2. My second favorite Police Story movie is Police Story. Let's take a quick break from this episode because I want to promote. Are you looking for a way to take your love of The Ray Taylor Show to the next level? Look no further than Inspired Disorder Plus. As a member, you'll get access to a whole host of amazing perks, including the full week of shows, ad-free in both audio and video versions, a live painting archive, early access to the many faces, members-only discounts and deals, a podcast back catalog with over 600 episodes. But that's not all. As a member, you'll get access to my personal blog as well as my creative writing. You'll also get the chance to ask me anything you want. With all of these benefits and more, Inspired Disorder Plus is a must-have for any fan of The Ray Taylor Show. So don't wait. Go sign up now. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and start enjoying all of the amazing perks of the membership. And now, let's get back to the show. Moving on to my favorite. This is without a doubt the best movie in the franchise, hands down. This does everything that this franchise is known for: comedy, action, stunts, manipulation, deception. Also, bigger story, international. So many things, and introduces one of the best, if not the best, co-star to ever work with Jackie Chan, in my opinion. Many have tried. There are many successes. But I think by far this is the best teaming up of somebody to work with Jackie Chan and to be right at that same level with him throughout the film. So for all of those reasons, this movie, my favorite, my number one favorite Police Story film is Police Story 3 Super Cop. Also known as Super Cop. That's how I knew it. I didn't even know it was part of the franchise. Came out in 1992, Hong Kong action comedy film, directed by Stanley Tong and starring Jackie Chan as well as Michelle Yeoh. What's up? Michelle Yeoh, my favorite person to ever be paired up with Jackie Chan in a movie. I would love to see them do more together, but this movie is that's one of many reasons this movie is at number 1 for me. This is the third installment in the Police Story film series and known for its high-octane action sequences and international scope, and the addition of Michelle Yeoh to the cast. In Police Story 3 Super Cop, Jackie Chan reprises his role as Chan, a skilled and dedicated police officer. This time, Chan is recruited by Interpol to go undercover and infiltrate a major drug trafficking syndicate operating across multiple countries. He teams up with Inspector Jessica Yang, played by Michelle Yeoh, a tough and capable officer who goes undercover as his sister to gain the trust of the criminals. The film takes Chan and Yang on a globe-trotting adventure as they work to take down the syndicate and its leader, Chebat. The action-packed journey spans from Hong Kong to Malaysia, with both officers facing life-threatening challenges, engaging in daring stunts, and participating in explosive shootouts. Police Story 3 Super Cop is notable for its breathtaking action sequences, including daring stunts, intense fights, and thrilling chases. The film's action choreography showcases Jackie Chan's signature style of blending martial arts with physical comedy and innovative use of props. Michelle Yeoh's impressive martial arts skills and willingness to perform her own stunts add to the film's excitement. One of many of the standout sequences in this film is a high-speed train chase where Chan and Yang pursue a criminal on a moving train. The sequence, known for its dangerous and thrilling stunts, is considered one of the film's most iconic moments. So many amazing things happen in this final action sequence. You have Jackie Chan grabbing the rope ladder hanging from a helicopter, flying around the city, running into buildings, smashing through billboards, right? You have him landing on a train car full of prickly fruits, right? The chopper ends up getting hooked to the train, right? Having to land on the train, leading to a fight on the train. You have Michelle Yeoh's character riding a dirt bike up onto the train, which she missed in the bloopers. Then she fights bad guys, almost gets her face chopped off in the rotor of the helicopter, ending with the bad guy being taken out when the chopper is hit by an overpass, smashing him. Amazing final sequence to this movie. Early on, fun sparring match when they first meet, when he first meets her, and she's taking him around the training facility. There's one of the guys there, has heard of him, and challenges him to a sparring match. Ends with him getting in one of those cartwheel metal wheel things and spinning out of the gymnasium and landing in a tree, which is many times Jackie Chan has found himself landing in a tree. Not necessarily in this movie, but in many other movies. There's also the scene with him helping to break out. There's great hand-to-hand fights in that. Funny scene trying to... they're helping to break this guy out of this, like, labor camp in order to go undercover and see his operation. There's great hand-to-hand fights within that, trying to get him out. There's a funny scene as they're trying to get out with this coal car that goes up this mountain, and Jackie was too slow to get in the car before it started going up, so it's him, like, getting exhausted running up this mountain after this trolley car. Hilarious. They're both exhausted. Ends up with them going down this big zip line. Great moment in this movie. They go to Jackie's cover story home, right? So this cover story that Jackie's like, yeah, whatever, I don't need to memorize that. They end up going to his home, right? The bad guy and Jackie as undercover. So of course Jackie's struggling to make it all look believable. Like, yeah, it's just changed so much, I can't remember where stuff is. You see, they find his home. You see that this is where you realize that Michelle Yeoh is playing undercover as a sister. His uncle, that is kind of in all of these movies, is playing a granny who, when they all leave to go get some food, her tits fall out of her dress as they leave, which is a hilarious moment. Then there's a great fight scene later on where they're in a building of explosives. Michelle Yeoh is wearing a vest that's supposedly laced with dynamite. And Jackie jumps into a window. The window closes as Michelle Yeoh's trying to jump in. There's a scene where they're pretending to throw a grenade, but she actually does pull the pin and throw it. And they have to jump out of this room that's full of explosives and ammunition before it blows up. They put the explosive vest on Michelle Yeoh for the negotiations, but we find out it's not actually laced with dynamite. It's actually a bulletproof vest. Great gunfight and explosions in that set piece. A lot of great moments in that this movie. Also, another fight scene with them undercover in a restaurant where like local police kind of spot this guy who just escaped from a prison camp, and they have to like try and pretend to not like hurt the cops, but also make it look like they're fighting the cops. It's a great, complex fight that happens while Michelle Yeoh and Jackie Chan's characters are trying to stay undercover while not trying to hurt the cops, but trying to make it look like they are on the side of the bad guy trying to get away. Very, very great. Very great. Super Cop not only offers thrilling action, but also explores the dynamic between Chan and Yang's character. The camaraderie, mutual respect, and chemistry contribute to the film's appeal, and the major reason this is at number one. Like I said, no better matchup in a Jackie Chan movie than Michelle Yeoh. Additionally, the film touches on themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and the challenges of undercover work. The movie's blend of action and entertainment, along with the chemistry between Jackie Chan and Michelle Yeoh, propel Police Story 3 Super Cop to international success. It showcases Jackie Chan's commitment to delivering intense and innovative action sequences while introducing audiences to the talents of Michelle Yeoh. Overall, Police Story 3 Super Cop is a standout entry in the Police Story series and remains a beloved action classic that continues to captivate audiences with its thrilling stunts and engaging storyline. This movie has some of the best stunts, some great fights, has the classic manipulation that is present in all of these films, has some great comedic moments. There's a lot of comedy when they are at a resort and May happens to be working as like a tour guide at that resort. A lot of funny happens there. It is the best of everything that makes this franchise so fun. And that is why coming in at number one is Police Story 3 Super Cop. Such a great movie. Honorable mentions. Super Cop 2. Didn't get to see it. Could not find it anywhere. But I'll honorably mention it here. I want to see it. I love it. After seeing Michelle Yeoh in Super Cop, I want to see that spin-off with her. It is a shame that not only is it not available to stream anywhere, it is not available to purchase digitally anywhere. I believe I could get like a DVD or a Blu-ray, but I don't have a player anymore. I don't have anything that can play physical media anymore. But I will track it down, and I will enjoy watching it, and I'll come back and do a review of it. Another honorable mention, not really, is the most recent Police Story film, Lockdown, which I believe is another reboot. I don't think it's, aside from the name, not related. The character's not the same. This movie, Jackie Chan, another kind of depressing cop in a hostage situation at a nightclub, which is, and again, kind of like Saw in a lot of ways. It has some good moments, but overall, not a great movie. Probably the least favorite of all of the movies that I saw. But anyway, those two honorable mentions. But let me recap my list, and we will get out of here. How do you like them apples? This is my top 5 movies from Police Story. Starting off with number 5 is New Police Story. Number 4 is Police Story 4, First Strike. Number 3 is Police Story 2. My second favorite movie in this franchise is the first Police Story. And my number 1 favorite movie from the Police Story franchise is Police Story 3 Super Cop, starring Jackie Chan and Michelle Yeoh. Amazing franchise. I would love to hear how you would rank them. Have you seen Super Cop 2? Is it great? Do you think I would have it on the list? I would love to see it. I would love to hear your thoughts, where you would rank these films. Let me know. Hit me up on social media, in the comments, all of those things. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Top 5 from The Ray Taylor Show. I do hope you enjoyed my ranking and analysis of my top 5 Police Story movies. Let me know how you would rank them. Please, are there any films I missed in this that, as I mentioned, Super Cop 2. And join the conversation by leaving a comment or rating on your favorite podcast platform or over on youtube.com/inspired disorder if you're watching this, as all episodes are available in video format. Don't forget to tune in next Sunday for an all-new episode. And see you again next week for more Top 5. Fly. Oh. Welcome to Top 5 from the Ray Taylor Show. Greetings, fellow Seal Threakers. This franchise has many great elements of comedy and action, reverse psychology and manipulation is popular tactic, great hand-to-hand fights. Of course, the bloopers and stunts are amazing in this as well, and that's why I love Jackie Chan. One of many reasons I love Jackie Chan movies. Subscribe to The Ray Taylor Show on YouTube and everywhere podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Purchase Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.